whatever is for you is for you. But that's if you're a wholehearted individual. Keep trying to tell people you can't be out here trying to manifest and you not even a decent human being. Alright, what's going on, people? I gotta make this one quick. I don't have that much battery to work with. So in this video we're going to be talking about my last two LTRs, long-term relationships, and just what I noticed out of them. So I said before that it takes us a minute to kind of figure out, who we are, what we like, what we dislike. And it takes us even longer to stick with it. For me, I definitely, I conform. I was doing, I tried really hard not to conform to, I would say, like the views of the world. So, I made a video, but I never dropped it. But I pretty much was talking about how, like, I noticed, like, early in 2010, 11, 12, kind of like that era, it seemed like for my generation, it was a lot of, like, the dating was going downhill. You know what I mean? Right after high school, it just seemed like it went to shit, So I definitely, it took me a minute to realize it, but I noticed it in the moment also. I just didn't know that it was, like, the reasoning on why it was happening, like, the low energy, the no drive, the feeling of me feeling like I lost my work ethic. That's what I'm saying. It's no negativity towards a woman. I just realized that, when you're in a relationship, you're putting your all in that relationship. It's just going to be, you could be content in your relationship, and being content in your relationship can make you content in other areas in your life. So I'll definitely play a clip, to explain that, to break that down, or another individual speaking on that particular topic.
Right. He said the only reason, my body was in that shape is because my work ethic was gone. He said, when I got married, I completely lost the work ethic that I had. And brother, I'm telling you, the conversation started going a completely different direction. It was focused more on the effect of him and his wife. And the thing is, when he made that statement, it would be easy for a person, man or woman, to say, you know what? Oh, he's using that as a cop-out. Oh, the brother's just salty he didn't make it. Now he wants to blame his wife for that. That was no part of his energy. He spoke nothing but good things about his wife. Matter of fact, he said the thing is I just found happiness in something else outside of football. So I started pouring my energy into that, and I lost my work ethic. He said before that, man, I had this animalistic state. He said I was living life on all fours, eating raw meat, I believe he said, type mentality. And he said once I got married, he said I just became this domesticated man. I believe he said this strict homo sapien, type, just straight human. It took that animal out of him. And then he said this. He said after all that, me understanding what took place, me understanding that me getting married took that fire out of me. He said I'm not even mad about it. I'm not even mad about it. But he's fully aware that scenario is possibly what cost him being in a Hall of Fame status right now, right? Now I can respect this brother for his mindset. I can respect this brother for the love he talked about his wife. I can respect the way he presented this whole thing. But brothers, I've said this a million times and I'll continue to say it. We can never fall in love with a woman. And that has nothing to do with loving a woman, providing a woman, protecting a woman, giving a woman, affection and all that stuff. But when I say that means you can't put a woman, you can't put children, you can't put family, you can't put anything over purpose or over greatness. And this is a prime example on why we can't, man. This is a prime example on why we can't. Am I saying that men shouldn't get in relationships and get married and find love? I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that a man has to be strict in his ways. He has to be set in his ways. He has to know who he is. He has to know where he's going. He has to know what his daily habits are before a woman even comes into his life. He has to have concrete poured on who he is, man. And I'm telling you, I can relate to this. Like I can look back in my life, man. I can think back to, relationships in my 20s, relationships that I entertained in my 30s. And I can see where when I was single, I was tapped into a greater version of myself. When I was single, I can see where I was, maybe working out more, reading more, taking walks around the block more, spending more time doing positive things, writing business plans, making YouTube videos or whatever. And I can see points in my life where I got in a relationship and those things just fell to the wayside. And I know there are several men that go through this. And to be honest, I think it's just, it's hard to pinpoint what it is, man. Like it just comes down to the way society has created man to be, man. Like I believe society as a whole has taught us to take this animalistic, nature out of us when a woman comes in. A woman comes in your life, man, it's like, yeah, no, I want to spend quality time with you, man. I want to be close to you. I want to be intimate. I want to do fun things. But it's something that's trained us, has taught us that goes over everything else, man. And to be honest, it's not in our nature. It's not even in a woman's nature. When it comes down to it, man, a woman can say a million things. She can say, I want a man to be there 24 hours a day. She doesn't even want that. A woman wants a man's priority to be his goal, his greatness. Because that's part of him providing and protecting and all the stuff that she craves, man.
Kept splitting my cartilage. And I was like, man, I'm just so tired of getting my knees cleaned up. And then I try to lose weight. And it's like, man, I'm broad. It's like, I don't have it's probably honest and fair to say, I didn't have the work ethic in me once I got married.
Really?
I kind of lost the
You
dog.
were satisfied, you thought? In life, you were satisfied?
I guess I found what happy was outside of football.
For the first time?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I was like all fours. Like, I call myself the king of the mammals.
Down.
Bruh, I'm 20 down because I got my knuckles. I'm running on all fours, like tongue out, like. And then I met my chick, and it was like, I domesticated.
She got that leash.
I went from all fours to like I was Homo erectus, Homo sapien. You know what I mean? Like I turned into a person.
Yeah.
And so now my off season is consisting of spending time getting to know somebody in that way. In that way, like. So now it's more or less like now I'm thinking about what's that like to have a wife and kids.
We need to get domesticated, dog.
That's always up for debate. You know what I mean? That is really
That's
always,
enough show.
Especially after you've been domesticated. It's always up for debate, man.
Now you know both sides.
Because sometimes you need your steak to be bloody instead of well done. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to taste where you came from, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And so, but there was a lot to it. So for me, I wasn't doing probably the things that I needed to do maintenance-wise as I got a little bit later into my career, but I didn't, the sad thing about it is I didn't care.
But I also noticed that there are, young women on this, on this earth that, when you're with them, you don't feel drained. You have energy. They give you energy. They actually replenish your energy. They keep you focused. They keep you headstrong. I'm not saying there's a lot of women that are able to do that, but I'm saying there is. It's out there. It's just, you got to be righteous and really be living your truth and following God's word. Or else it can get really tricky and your discernment is all off, and then you think you think you're able to sort through some stuff and you're really not able to. Just a quick thought. Or not a quick thought, but I was trying to make a short video. So, if I got my point across, let me know. If you like my message, go ahead and hit the like button. If you like the content, try to check out another video. If you like what I'm speaking, go ahead and press that subscribe button. And then hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload. But I definitely feel like now, because I'm not like the whole being tight, you know what I mean? Like it's different. It's different. Like the energy is different from a woman being able to actually touch you, to be in your world, versus like the online and a lot of that stuff. Like that's when, like the online stuff, the online world, it's always been dead to me. So I said it before, but it takes a lot for a woman to actually get into my realm. So I definitely never really have an issue with that. Like my discernment, I feel like it's easy for me to cut stuff off. But I honestly feel like it's more so like God is giving me this time for peace and silence, for me to strategize and for me to get my game plan together. And I always felt like I had half ideas in relationships. Not all of them, but it was just like, it always seemed like I was working on something and I could never finish it. And if I feel that way and I don't have a girl, you know what I mean? And I don't have all those distractions, like being in a relationship, going on dates, trying to be all lovey-dovey and stuff like that, trying to, cater, dedicate time to seeing this individual. When you don't have all that, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you'll notice that you're still foggy, you're still clogged. So it's like, you definitely have to do that self-work. And if you never do that self-work, you know what I mean? And then you got to notice it. But luckily I caught it. The way I put it is, I was in two, you know what I mean? Not bad contracts, but the contracts were a decent length. And once you realize, I think I heard it before, but once you realize how much time you spent, in that situation, it's going to take almost half the time for you to get back to your natural self. So if you spent 5 years in a relationship, it's going to take you almost 2.5 years to get back to your normal self. And that's if you actually putting the work in. I'm not saying it's going to take all of that time, but I'm saying that's around the time that it takes. And if you can't, if you can't be alone for that period of time, or if you feel like your clock is running out, that was definitely on you and the decisions that you decided to make as a younger individual. So you just got to take, you got to take that to the chin, and you got to realize that that whatever is for you is for you. But that's if you're a wholehearted individual. Keep trying to tell people you can't be out here trying to manifest and you not even a decent human being. You ain't never spoke no good words to not one soul ever in your life. And if you do, it's only because it's in your favor to do so. You don't do stuff for people just to do stuff. You've never blessed somebody and not looked at God to like, oh, I just did something for somebody, like, I should get, like, you ain't never. So for some souls, it might take a little time for them to understand that the energy that you put forth every single day, that's your currency. We just got to figure out what we really like to do and really go for that single thing every single day. We got to go for it every day. That's what I'm trying to teach my daughter right now. I was trying to tell her, I was like, baby, you're an artist. Your drawings can get you paid for the rest of your life. I was like, you can do so many things with your art. And I was like, you'll never have to work for anybody ever. Unless you wanted to. But that's it. I just be having stretched thoughts, and if I go on too long, then I just keep talking and then won't stay on topic.